Tonight, Port Lincoln locals left disappointed at a delayed decision over council's stance on drilling in the Great Australian Bight. And local fireys received some critical training as the house fire season approaches.
This is Southern Cross News with Fraser Goldsworthy.
Good evening. A decision for the Port Lincoln City Council to stand against oil drilling exploration in the Great Australian Bight has been postponed. A very crowded chamber of community members and industry leaders saw council vote for a public forum, leaving many disappointed in the delay.
There wasn't a spare seat in the House as the highly anticipated public decision was on the agenda.
Last night at the meeting we called for a total ban on oil and gas exploration and drilling in the Great Australian Bight on behalf of the Port Lincoln community and industry who are calling strongly for the council to establish their position.
However, that motion was deferred, with council members voting 5-4 for a public meeting to hear from all stakeholders.
I would like to hear both sides of the story, and I'd like a public meeting to be called.
It left many frustrated.
Should be ashamed of yourselves.
All it's doing is delaying the decision, and we need to act now.
That was a disappointment to me because I thought it would go through tonight because council have had 4 years of information on this.
Others welcome the decision.
I'm happy that we've got it passed across the table, that we're going to sit down and get some more information, get it from both sides of the facts, from all the parties relevant, instead of it being a one-sided affair.
Council will look to hold the public meeting in the next 4 weeks.
We establish a lineup of speakers where we are listening to the research and we're listening to the science on both sides of the issue so that we can progress it through council in a considered way and reach a determination that is representative of the community.
Casey Trelaw, Southern Cross News.
Police are investigating a break-in at a church building in Whyalla Stewart. Just after 3:30 this morning, officers were called to Ramsay Street after an alarm was triggered. Security attended and saw people leaving on mountain bikes. A shed behind showed signs of being broken into. Patrols combed the area but failed to locate any suspects. Anyone with information on the incident is asked to call Crime Stoppers. Meantime, Whyalla police are reminding parents to be on the lookout for suspicious behaviour after another report of a stranger approaching a child. They say between 10 and 10:30 last Friday morning, a child was approached by an unknown man at a local shopping centre. The man ran off after the mother's child called out. He's described as being of an older age with a chubby build. Police are stepping up their patrols of places frequented by children after incidents near 2 Whyalla schools in the past week. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. The Port Augusta MFS has completed the first night of a 3-day training session aimed to give firefighters vital experience. The training has left local fireys armed with valuable skills to bring blazes under control as we head into a busy winter period.
It's a scenario fire crews witness on a regular basis. Smoke billowing out of a property. Although this inferno is a simulation as part of a training session aimed to give their members experience in fighting compartment fires.
Access to this type of training is crucial for their welfare and the welfare of others.
Compartment fires, a term for fires within a space, are some of the most common calls for help. Inside these shipping containers, a controlled blaze is ignited to replicate the conditions on the front line, educating local firefighters on how a fire can develop and change.
What they get the opportunity to do is actually observe the fire conditions, something that you don't normally get to do when you enter a building that's on fire and you're rushing in.
Leaving them with the experience to quickly extinguish a blaze, which can intensify in just minutes.
Prior to this sort of training, we are able to give them theoretical knowledge, but we're not able to actually demonstrate the fire behaviour that they would expect.
The regional MFS has enlisted 3 full-time professionals from Adelaide to conduct the training, all experts in compartment firefighting, meaning regional areas will have the same resources as their metro counterparts.
It's equally important that they have the same level as training, and that has been the aim of this regional program.
Garth Burley, Southern Cross News.
5 schools from across the Mid-North gathered in Gladstone today to showcase their latest STEM projects. Students were required to create their own new and unique ice cream flavour for Golden North, and the company is now considering selling some of the tasty ideas.
New taste bud tingling ice cream flavours, all in the name of science education.
We did a mint flavour with caramel koalas in them, and then the shape for our ice cream will be a leaf covered in chocolate.
It's really good, and I like the caramel bits in it and the caramel koala.
I picked pineapple and mango because it's a summer flavour and ice cream is eaten a lot in summer.
Representatives from Golden North were on taste testing duties today. They say some flavours were so mouth-watering they'll look into the possibility of selling them locally.
There's a cracking one over there with popcorn in it. That was really nice, salted caramel popcorn. The boys behind us, they've done a chili one, which was interesting.
They say it takes a lot of research to come up with a new flavour. The most popular today had a biscuit or Oreo base.
Mathematics go into recipe formulation, and then also the engineering and the technology side of it with the equipment that we need to use.
It's hoped the project will open up career pathways for students and be implemented in other schools across the state.
Giving them an opportunity to see how things that they're doing at school relate to industry, and I think that's really important.
The work that we've seen today is something that all schools across the state that can do, and we know that kids are going to benefit from coming up with their own ideas and really owning their own learning.
Rachel Nell, Southern Cross News.
Country Arts SA is exploring an upgrade of Whyala's Middleback Arts Centre building. The body has begun consultation with the local community, but is still yet to secure any funding for the project.
Over the past 35 years, the Middleback has been the home of movies, including a few reboots. It could soon be getting one, with Country Arts SA considering renovating the ageing 35-year-old site.
It's a well-used facility, and there are things that need to be done to bring it up to 21st century standards.
Country Arts has spent the past 2 days storyboarding the concept. Architects have been measuring up, while consultation sessions have been held with local stakeholders.
It's really important that we understand what the community really wants.
A key issue being discussed is performance areas. The centre hosts a variety of events that sometimes don't fit large capacity theatres. Mr. Saffel says modern arts centres have room to be flexible, something they want for the Middleback.
Multi-purpose, multifunctional, you can shift the seats around, place the stage differently.
Management says residents with any ideas can have their say.
They're more than welcome to come and see me at the Arts Centre, and I'll certainly pass them on to the architects for consideration.
However, any potential revamp is a while away. They haven't approached the government for funding, with Country Arts waiting until they have a concept.
You need to be ready and, quite often shovel ready, and so without detailed plans, we won't be.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
In the news ahead, a mental health event to help get people talking about the serious issue. That story next. Police are investigating a fight that broke out in the early hours of Sunday morning in Port Pirie. A man was knocked unconscious outside of a hotel on Watertown Road. A 24-year-old Solomon Town man was arrested and charged with disorderly behaviour and resisting arrest. He will face court late next month. 2 police officers also received minor injuries during the incident. The Eyre Peninsula is always on the hunt for new initiatives to boost local tourism, and there's a new initiative targeting travellers on the road. A new online platform will provide tours to encourage travellers to take a road less travelled.
Personalised tour right in the palm of your hand.
Been working really hard over the last 12 months to look at what can improve tourism and drive further growth.
Data recently highlighted the potential for South Australian tourism to grow to $511 million, and Regional Development Australia has identified a key group of travellers.
We know 87% of all visitors that come to regional South Australia drive, and at the moment in Eyre Peninsula we've identified that it's a real key area that we need to develop.
So a collaboration with an online platform called Road Trippers was formed.
Regional Development Australia, Whyalla and Eyre Peninsula have gone into partnership with Road Trippers and the South Australian Tourism Commission to develop this app.
It will provide the opportunity to guide travellers with geo-targeting.
So we're able to target groups of people such as nature lovers, bird watchers, and then provide them the opportunity to travel throughout the region.
The new platform hopes to encourage sightseers to take the less popular route.
We know we've got some amazing formations, geological formations such as Pildappa Rock, Murphy's Haystacks in the northern areas. We've got beautiful coastline. We are a region where you do need to get off the main highway and discover what we have.
The Road Trippers online platform and app is expected to be complete in the next 2 months. Casey Trelaw, Southern Cross News.
Whyalla locals have been invited to a free event this weekend to encourage discussion around men's mental health. It'll take a comedic twist in an attempt to break down the stigma surrounding the important issue.
It's a known fact the mental health of men living in country areas is a serious issue. Whyalla residents know the struggle all too well, with the last few years placing stress on the community. Yet talking about it remains taboo, something put down to culture.
Private about their emotions, and there's more of an expectation that people don't talk about that stuff out in the country. They believe that's due to a more stoic culture.
3 OT students on placement want to start a much-needed conversation. An awareness day will be set up at Bennett Oval on Saturday afternoon during the North-South clash. Then on Saturday night, a free seminar called Beyond the Banter will be held at South Footy Club.
Doing it through the football clubs, we're trying to address and really target the male audience and the stoic male audience as well.
Victorian mental health advocate Jeremy Forbes will speak about his experiences in the tradie sector. In a twist, there'll be a comedy segment featuring local Michael Marsh. Mr. Marsh, a survivor of mental illness, says the work of Canadian Dave Grainer and the late Robin Williams have made comedy sets on the issue possible.
It is just a really good way of breaking down the stigma of mental health, and people really enjoy the comedy, and it promotes recovery in a light-hearted way as well.
John Hunt, Southern Cross News.
Still to come tonight, an ancient piece of art returns to the Silver City after receiving some much-needed restoration works. That's next. Welcome back. Broken Hill's most expensive piece of artwork has undergone a major restoration. Arthur Hacker's Vae Victus has undergone countless hours of painstaking work from a dedicated team in Victoria.
A priceless piece of art soon to be back on the wall.
Vae Victus has returned to Broken Hill.
Arthur Hacker painted Vae Victus in 1890. The massive oil piece depicts the 12th century sack of Morocco by the Almohad Caliphate. It's been in the gallery's possession for over a century. Before that, it was owned by one of the founders of BHB, George McCulloch.
It's worth $800,000. It was initially donated to us in 1913 by George McCulloch's widow. And the conservation works cost around $23,500, and that was actually money all fundraised through the gallery.
Vae Victus has spent the last 12 months in the conservation department at the University of Melbourne, where over 400 hours of restoration work was put into the painting.
A lot of work to the canvas, to the frame and previous damages.
The team focused on repairing around 50 tears, remoulding the frame and retouching cracks in the paint. These pictures were taken moments before it was shipped away in 2017. Flash forward to now, and it's currently in the gallery storeroom waiting to be unveiled.
It's been a very exciting wait, and we're happy to have it back.
A special launch event will be held at the end of the month to celebrate the artwork's return to the gallery walls.
Friday night, the 29th of June. So it's a $10 donation towards further art restoration, and it's going to be a great evening. The Conservator's doing a talk on the works.
Patrick Reinke, Southern Cross News.
Organisers of the Port Augusta Relay for Life are gearing up for the event by holding a launch day this weekend. It's hoped it'll encourage people to rally together, a team, and help reach the $30,000 fundraising goal.
As a participant and committee member, Darren McNamee has been involved in the Relay for Life for the last decade. It's an issue that is close to his heart.
The whole reason I got involved is my wife's family have all suffered through the cancer.
His support for the event stems from the support the Cancer Council gave him and his family.
It's just my way of putting back into a organisation that has helped us out.
After a year's break, the Relay for Life is set for a rejuvenated return to Chinnery Park. Organisers are building hype for the event with a barbecue launch this Saturday.
We'll have a representative of the Cancer Council of South Australia on site, so if people wish to join our happy band, they'll be able to do it online whilst they're there.
They're hoping for a high number of teams turning out in their imaginative costume ideas for the event. A chance to have fun and show support for a disease that touches so many Australians.
The event, bandies us all together as one big family, and we celebrate those people that in the community that are suffering, and we just bring them to show them that they're not alone.
Garth Burley, Southern Cross News.
To local sport now, and despite the conditions getting colder and colder, tennis is still on in Broken Hill. Patrick joins us from the local courts where the summer sport is now played in the winter. Pat.
That's right, Fraser. You'd be forgiven for thinking tennis would stop in the colder months, but here in the Silver City, it's just getting started. The local winter comp is in full swing, with the team names inspired by the FIFA World Cup. In the most recent round, there were some cracking games to watch. France managed to get over Belgium 4 sets 37 games to 2 sets 30 games. Andrew Malloy managed to win all 3 of his sets. Brazil recorded a comfortable win over Spain, and Argentina played match of the round, beating Germany by 1 singular game. Heading over to the Broken Hill soccer grounds now, and West secured a solid win over Alma 3-1. In the second game, Celtic dominated St Joe's 5-2. John Corrett was the only multiple goal scorer in that match, finding the back of the net twice for the Joeys. To Port Lincoln soccer now, and SEKOL Masters would be kicking themselves after giving up a 3-0 lead to Lincoln City Raiders, although they were a man down during the second half. South Coast didn't have any problems though, getting back into the winner's circle with a 2-1 victory over Lincoln Knights. A quick look at the Outback Rugby League, where the mercy rule had to be enforced after Yabbies smashed the wedge-tailed Eagles. When a team leads by 60 points, the game automatically concludes. In the other match, it was a bit closer. Broken Hill Saints were on song as they downed the Pantu Warriors 36-18. And finishing off with some netball, and we start in Port Augusta. Railways continued their winning ways with a big win over Vikings, and St Joe's were too strong for the Magpies. Tuwayala and Warriors did enough to beat True Blue, and Kiwi beat YCW by 29 goals. And finally, in Port Lincoln, Boston got the win over St Mary's, Wayback bested Imperial, and Warnilla Rangers won a nail-biter against Souths United. So, Fraser, plenty of sport happening around the regions, and good luck to Nabstars and St Joe's as they square off in the Broken Hill A-grade netball grand final tonight. And if you want your sports results on Southern Cross News, send them through to localsport@sca.com.au.
Good on you, Pat. Patrick Reinke there. We'll stay with us after the break. We'll have all the local weather details with Amy. And Amy, will it be a wet end to the week around the region?
It's certainly looking that way with some parts of the region seeing cloudy skies today. I'll have all the details next. Temperatures remain cool around most centres today. 14 at the top in Port Augusta and Whyalla. A cloudy day in Port Lincoln, and while it was sunny in Broken Hill, the mercury reached a high of 13. Checking the satellite, low cloud and the odd possible shower in the southeast. Skies are generally clear inland near a dry air mass. If you're out on the waters tomorrow, northerly winds will shift northwesterly up to 15 knots with seas reaching 1 metre. Sunrise will be at 7:24 tomorrow, while it will set at 5:17. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, and although showers are predicted around most districts, temperatures are going to warm up just slightly. Showers and 16 in Port Augusta, Whyalla and Corn. Port Lincoln heading for a high of 17 degrees. As we get into the weekend, maximums will rise to the high teens in Port Lincoln, although showers are set to hang around. Cleve will see tops of 17 in the coming days, while Woodna, it'll reach a high of 18 on Saturday. Showers will clear in Whyalla by Thursday with temperatures sitting at 18 degrees. Port Augusta will also experience a run of finer days and a top of 19 over the weekend, with Kadina also set to see mostly sunny days and temperatures of 17. Possible midweek showers in Port Pirie are predicted to clear by the latter half of the week, with a top of 18 on Saturday. After a run of chilly days, Clare will warm up just a little bit to 15 degrees, and a sunny 17 expected in Broken Hill on Saturday. So although it's likely to be a wet couple of days, it's looking like a clear weekend in the Spencer Gulf.
Thanks, Amy. Looks like the sun will return just in time for the weekend. And that's all the news to now. Thanks for your company. Enjoy your evening. Good night.